Welcome back to the Jalf sleepover recollection series. I mean,
It's true, man. It's just gonna be a fucking podcast about us talking about what makes Jalf so special. And I'm sorry, yeah. What that time where
we've
you're
never
looking
actually
through, yeah.
we've never actually said what Jalf is, like how it started and what it
That's
is.
true. Well, I mean, depends what we're gonna be explaining. We're gonna be explaining that made-up, fucked-up lore we were talking about, or we're gonna be
The
talking about how
origins,
Jalf came to be,
the origins,
how we came to be
actual
as friends.
origins. Yeah.
We're talking about our actual friendship,
Oh
yeah.
well, yeah. I remember that. Kind of. I only remember the story. I don't actually remember it like visually, but we don't see visually or remember or whatever.
Oh shit, yeah, that's something to talk about, isn't it? What's it called again?
Aphonia? I think. No, no,
Let me have a
no.
look.
Is it Aphonia where you can't? Isn't that like where you can't speak though? Am I wrong?
Aphonia. If you have aphonia or loss of voice, yeah.
Whoops.
What's it called? What is it called when you can't burp? Oh, when you can't see mental imagery? Is that what this is? Aphantasia.
That's the one.
Aphantasia is a phenomenon in which people are unable to visualize imagery. While most people are able to conjure an image of a scene or a face in their minds, people with aphantasia cannot.
Yeah.
Imagine that it is a warm summer day and you are sitting on the side of a swimming pool. What an asshole to put that at the end.
Yeah.
Who
Thanks.
the fuck made that, eh? Yeah, aphantasia is one weird concept which only recently was brought up by Jason here, talking about being able to see mental imagery when someone says, for example, like what it said in here, imagine that it's a warm summer day and you're sitting on the side of a swimming pool. People can, and to my surprise, actually see a swimming pool in a warm summer day. Like experience it, they hear the sounds in their mind, they can picture it, and whenever and I think this is the same for you as well, whenever someone would say imagine this, the way I imagine it is the description of what that thing is.
Like just
they'd be
like the facts. We
yeah,
just
they'd
remember
be
the
like,
facts.
imagine a beach, imagine something really nice, imagine something epic,
I
right?
just think sand and water.
Yeah, right. And then you'd be like, okay, so there's sand, there's a beach, there's seagulls, there's hot dog stand, there's towels, but that's just us listing what's on a beach instead of seeing what it is. And I can't tell if that's just us not being creative or if that's us just
No,
being
it's
stupid or
I
seeing
mean,
it wrong.
I mean, it is a thing. Like I've talked to people like they can whenever they like recollect the memory, they can see it in picture. Like they can see. Like
Yeah.
it's weird. I don't understand it. And like they said like I can't imagine not seeing it, which is weird to me because like
Which is really weird, isn't it?
whenever I
It
remember
doesn't-
stuff like whenever I like remember like an event, it's more of like I remember the facts about what happened. Like they was wearing like he was
Yeah.
wearing this rather
Yep.
than seeing.
Yeah. It's more of a like I can describe what happened, but I can't picture it in my head, which is I think what's really confusing just in general, because I'll ask someone, I've asked quite a few people, and Jason has too. We ask people, if you were to picture a horse in your head right now, or like a sheep, or a red square, or an apple, they'd be like, yeah, I can see it, like whether it would be vividly or like clearly or whatever. They would never give one clear answer, and it would always be confused. They'd be like, well, you can see it with your eyes, or you have to close your eyes, or you can see it in your mind, or you see it in front of you, and it's just like, people have such different views of mental imagery that it feels unreal to hear that someone says, hey, I can see a red square if I picture it in my head. And I can't, and like apparently it's called, there's like a phrase called the mind's eye, where it's like your third eye, where you can see things in your mind, or like with your eyes if you close your eyes, or whatever. I don't understand. Where am I supposed to be looking to see this red square, or this sheep, or this horse? Where should I be looking? With my head, my eyes, in my thoughts? Should I be able to? I don't know. It's really hard to explain because when I've tried to have this conversation with many people ever since it was brought up to me, it's never been one clear answer. they've never been able to fully describe it. They've never been able to explain how to do it. They can't explain how they're seeing it or where they're seeing it. And this new thing, it's really incredible and awesome, but it's also kind of freaky, meaning that people have been able to picture stuff when they say, picture yourself at a green field, and I've not been able to do that. And that's really freaky. But because and I could have went on my whole life not knowing about it, because apparently Aphantasia is like not common. And we might not even have Aphantasia. We might not, right?
No, I think we do, because like it's like you can't imagine anything like in your mind, but like you can remember facts, but you can't remember seeing it.
Yes,
It's more of like
the imagery
when you
is
close
not
your
there.
eyes, there's nothing. It's just black. Like you can't even like picture like a dot, which I can't.
No.
You can't.
No. It's just black and static. That's what it is. It's just like the black.
I think it's like if you can at least picture like a red or like some kind of box when your eyes are shut. That's when you don't have it.
It's like your mind, like our minds are pretty fucking active. Like we have pretty active minds and we think a lot, right? So surely it feels like a given that we should be able to just like be able to see imagery, but we can. So it looks like creativity and having an active mind has no relevance to any of it whatsoever. To anything to do with being able to see mental imagery, which is really strange. But good thing about it is that it doesn't have like any negative after effects like that down later on the line.
It's actually good for some things. Like if you go through like a traumatic event, you can't like have flashbacks to it. Like some people do apparently.
That's true, yeah. Because like, especially if you love something so passionately, like I have some games which I love to bits, like really passionately. I can describe everything that happens, but I won't be able to picture in my head that event. But I can explain it all. But there has to be like an element of imagery in your head, surely, that we're just not seeing. There has to be some sort of element of imagery because you're able to describe it so perfectly, but there is nothing. There is nothing.
I don't know. I think it's more of like you can recollect like the colors and like the shapes, but you can't see it. That's really about it.
I don't know, because we can describe it so perfectly that it sounds like we have an amazing imagination, right? But how can someone see like that person's face? How can someone see that game that they're thinking of right now? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
I mean, it's like my favorite game is Majora's Mask, and I can't even like when I shut my eyes, I can't even when they're open, I can't see it. I cannot see like the image of like the mask, which is the whole fucking promotional thing about it.
Yeah, that's the point of the game, right? It's like you can completely describe the logo. You completely describe the Majora's Mask thing.
It's a heart, and there's spikes coming out of it.
I don't remember the colors or the
things like red, blue, green, yellow.
Yeah, I don't remember. But like, yeah, I remember the spikes, but that's it.
Purple,
like, but there's people that can see like a photographic memory of the Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I can't.
How?
No one. Well,
maybe people are gifted.
Yeah, I don't know. It's more of like I think it's like less than 5%. Remember? I think so.
Well done.
I don't know. I don't think photographic memory is a common given though. Like, there's photographic memory, and then there's just being able to see imagery.
I mean, it's like some people can like see stuff, but like vividly.
Yes.
Is that the word?
Yes.
Or it's, like,
that's like the most
faint?
vivid, like faintly, vividly. Yeah, that's like the most common, where you're just thinking like, hey, could you think of a square? And they're like, yeah, I can see it, but it goes later on. Like, that's mental imagery, right?
Yeah.
But what's making me think is, because we can describe it, right?
Yeah.
Is that a form of mental imagery, but we just can't see it?
I think it's like a form of imagination and memory working together.
Maybe, because we can describe something almost perfectly if we love it that much, right? So that's memory kicking in, obviously. But why can't we see imagery? So I don't know if we haven't unlocked our mind's eye, or if we're just fucking idiots, or if we genuinely have aphantasia. I don't know. Maybe there's mental imagery we're just not seeing.
Well, I don't know. This is off topic, but what? It's kind of on topic. But like, apparently, it's better for artists as well, which makes no sense to me. They're,
Yeah,
like,
didn't it say
having
like
it.
like some creators of movies and Disney were like Aphantasia or
Yeah,
whatever?
and it's good because they're not like biased by like imagination. But
Yeah, that's
but like
true.
at the same time, it doesn't make any sense though because like when you want to draw, you want to picture something, which I can't. I
Yes.
can copy perfectly fine, but I can't come up with my own
I
shit because I just can't see it in my head, so it's hard to
I
like
think I think
make it.
some people go through that first phase of what you're saying is like some people struggle with what to do to begin with, but then they find like their motivation, their motive, they find their inspirations. Hi,
Yeah.
Kingdom. They find their inspirations right, and then things they comes naturally like it does with our memory, where we can describe it, but we can't exactly picture it. But we can put it on paper, and that's like their mental imagery, but just physical. So they're able to express the way they're feeling without their mental imagery. They put it on paper instead. So maybe it's common in artists to not have mental imagery, and they display it on paper or like on a tablet to like express how they're feeling. Maybe that's why some artists love art so much.
Maybe.
It could be completely true. It probably makes sense why people become such good artists because they're able to express how they're feeling and they can't really see it in just their normal life or whatever. It does sound quite nice.
For me, it's more of like a hindrance because whenever I try and think of like any game ideas or just like any art ideas, I just can't. I'm like
Yeah.
capable of doing it, and I worked hard for that, and then I just can't do it. So it's just
Sometimes
pointless.
Sometimes I feel like that's why people started with making teams as well. Not just for efficiency, but just for someone else's mind to think of the ideas,
Yeah.
put it down on paper, and give it to the developers. Like some people can do amazing coding, but they still have no ideas on what to do with it. Like you can do some coding, but you don't have ideas on what to do with it. So you're just like, what should I do? But you just need like that second person to be like, hey, so this is a good idea, or how about this? How does this sound to you? And you're just like, yeah, that's good. And you just work from there. And like, I feel like with you just need one of those baselines of what to do in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, you just need something to work on, something to work towards for it to have any kind of meaning rather than starting from the beginning without any ideas of what to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you need
On a
something, you need like a guideline from the get-go.
on a team, I could do pretty well because I don't have to like come up with shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I've come up with ideas, but I can't like put them to like
Words,
yeah.
paper, to mind, yeah. Like that, so you
Because,
just need to like try
because,
to
I can't see
explain it.
Yeah, I can't see it, so it's hard to explain. It's like how my thoughts work. I forgot how to
This is also why most artists with commissions, they instead of asking, "Hey, can you give me a description?" they say, "Can you give me a physical appearance? Like, give me a reference of art." Like, and if you don't have one, just send me different pictures of people, right? Because some people can't do it with just descriptions alone. So they need
that's
good
true.
ideas, vivid ideas of what you want. So, aphantasia could be a really common thing. Like, it could be really common, or just like people just don't have very good mental imagery, right? So maybe people are becoming borderline aphantasic, if that's even a phrase. Aphantasic, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I don't know, but I feel like most artists, from what we're seeing, definitely they either do it because it's like, hey, this is a fun hobby, or they do it because they want a way to express themselves. It would make sense.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like you were saying about trying to do art once, and then like it was too difficult for you because you couldn't think of what to draw or
Yeah,
like
it's
what
like-
to picture to come up with.
it's like I can do it just fine. I just can't come up with like my own shit like people can. It's so
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's like learning a language and then not being able to like speak it. I don't know. It's weird.
Like you know how to do it, but you just don't know what to do with it. Like you
Yeah.
can say a few words, or you can understand what they're saying, but what do you say? What do
Yeah,
you
it's
do
just-
with it?
It's so
It's definitely kind of demotivating for trying to learn new things, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah. But sometimes it's alright.
Well, I mean, considering it gives you apparently more creative, and you don't have to worry about like bad memories in the past or whatever. Hey, I call that one a win.
Yeah.
But the fact that we can remember it like memory wise and be so descriptive of it doesn't help whatsoever.
I think that is like enhanced by the fact that we can't remember it. Like
Yeah,
learning,
it
like
like tries to
retaining
compromise
facts.
essentially.
Yeah, like retaining facts is a lot easier or something.
Yeah,
Because that's what I do. I retain facts really easily, but I can't remember
yeah,
images.
yeah. You want to save this fight for the next episode when we do it?
Yeah, sure. That's not gonna work.
Try and bomb that bitch first.
Didn't work.
That didn't work, did it?
No.
Good shot.
Thanks.